Think about your favorite stadium. Got it? Now picture yourself there. The roar of the crowd, the lights, the anticipation in the air. It's electric, right? Now imagine that same stadium, but with a totally different name. It just wouldn't feel the same, would it? That's because a stadium's name is more than just a name. It's part of its identity. Stadium names evoke memories, tell stories, and connect fans to their teams. They become landmarks, woven into the fabric of a city. So how do stadiums get these iconic names? Let's dive in and find out. These days, most stadiums aren't named after the team or the city. They're named after companies. This trend has become increasingly common over the past few decades. This is because of something called naming rights. Naming rights are a form of sponsorship, where a company purchases the right to name a facility or event. Naming rights are basically a sponsorship deal. It's a strategic move for companies to increase their brand visibility and market presence. A company pays a lot of money, we're talking millions, sometimes billions, for the right to put their name on a stadium. This investment is seen as a long-term marketing strategy. Think of it like a giant billboard. But instead of being on the side of a highway, it's on a massive structure that hosts major events. Millions of people see the stadium name every year, on TV, during broadcasts of games and events, on merchandise, like jerseys and hats, and on tickets that fans purchase to attend games. That's a lot of exposure for a brand. The name becomes synonymous with the excitement and passion of sports.
For teams, naming rights are a huge source of revenue. This influx of cash can be a game changer for a franchise. This money helps them sign star players, improve facilities, and even undertake major renovations or new constructions, and keep ticket prices down, well, sometimes. While ticket prices can still be high, the additional revenue from naming rights can help offset some costs. Ultimately, naming rights deals are a win-win for both the companies and the teams. Companies get unparalleled exposure, and teams get the financial support they need to thrive. So next time you see a stadium with a corporate name, remember the big business behind the big leagues.
Stadium naming hasn't always been about corporate sponsorships. In the old days, stadiums were often named after the team, the neighborhood, or a local landmark.
Take Fenway Park, home of the Boston Red Sox. It's named after the Fenway neighborhood where it's located, simple as that. But as sports became more commercialized, companies saw the value in stadium naming rights. One of the first examples was FedEx Field, home of the Washington Commanders. This deal, made in 1999, was a game changer. It showed just how lucrative naming rights could be.
Baseball stadiums are known for their history and charm. Some have kept their classic names, while others have embraced corporate branding. Fenway Park and Wrigley Field, home of the Chicago Cubs, are iconic examples of traditional names. They're steeped in history and beloved by fans.
On the other hand, you have stadiums like Minute Maid Park, Houston Astros, and Busch Stadium, St. Louis Cardinals, named after well-known brands. Then there's Oracle Park, home of the San Francisco Giants. This stadium has seen its name change from Pacific Bell Park to SBC Park before becoming Oracle Park.
Section 5. Football's Gridiron Giants. Touchdowns in naming rights. In the world of professional football, the stadiums are not just places where games are played. They are iconic landmarks that carry immense value, both culturally and financially. Football stadiums are no strangers to big money naming rights deals. These agreements often involve multi-million-dollar contracts that span several years, bringing in significant revenue for the teams and the corporations involved. In fact, some of the most expensive deals in sports history involve football stadiums. These deals not only provide financial support, but also enhance the brand visibility of the sponsoring companies, making them a win-win situation for both parties.
Take MetLife Stadium, home of the New York Giants and New York Jets. This stadium, located in East Rutherford, New Jersey, is a prime example of how lucrative these deals can be. This deal is worth a reported $20 million per year. The partnership with MetLife has not only provided financial benefits, but also helped in the stadium's branding and marketing efforts. Then there's AT&T Stadium, home of the Dallas Cowboys. Known for its impressive architecture and cutting-edge technology, this stadium is a marvel in the world of sports venues. This state-of-the-art facility is a testament to the power of corporate sponsorship. The naming rights deal with AT&T has played a crucial role in maintaining the stadium's modern amenities and high standards.
But even in football, some teams have opted for more traditional names. These names often carry historical significance and a deep connection to the team's heritage and fan base. Lambeau Field, home of the Green Bay Packers, is named after the team's founder, Curly Lambeau. This iconic stadium has retained its traditional name, reflecting the rich history and legacy of the Packers. While it may not have a corporate sponsor, its name carries a weight of its own, resonating deeply with fans and the community. The choice between a corporate-sponsored name and a traditional one often reflects the values and priorities of the team and its ownership. Whether it's the financial boost from a naming rights deal or the sentimental value of a traditional name, each decision shapes the identity and legacy of the stadium. In the end, football stadiums are more than just venues. They are symbols of pride, history, and community. The names they carry, whether corporate or traditional, tell a story of their own, adding to the rich tapestry of the sport. Section 6, Basketball's Hardwood Havens slam dunks and sponsorship deals. Basketball arenas have also gotten in on the naming rights game.
From Staples Center, now Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles, to American Airlines Center in Dallas, corporate logos are prominent. These deals bring in millions for NBA teams, helping them compete for championships and build world-class facilities.
However, some arenas still bear the names of their cities or legendary figures. Madison Square Garden, home of the New York Knicks, is a prime example. Section 7. Honoring legends stadiums named after icons. While corporate sponsorships are now the norm, some stadiums are named after legendary figures in sports history.
Think Michael Jordan. The Chicago Bulls home court is aptly named the United Center, but the court itself, that's Michael Jordan Court. This is a way to honor the people who made these sports so great.
It's a way to keep their legacy alive for generations to come. Section 8. The price of fame. How much does a stadium name cost? So how much does it actually cost to put your name on a stadium? This is a question that many companies ponder when they consider the potential benefits of such a high-profile investment.
Well, it depends. The cost can vary widely based on several factors. Factors like the sport, the city, and the size of the stadium all play a role. For instance, a stadium in a major city like New York or Los Angeles will command a higher price than one in a smaller market. But generally, you're looking at tens of millions of dollars per year. These deals are not just about slapping a name on a building, they involve extensive marketing and promotional activities. The most expensive naming rights deal in history belongs to SoFi Stadium, home of the Los Angeles Rams and Los Angeles Chargers. This state-of-the-art facility has set a new benchmark in the industry. This deal is worth a staggering $625 million over 20 years. That's an average of over $30 million annually. That's a lot of money. But why do companies spend such enormous sums? The answer lies in the visibility and prestige that come with having your name associated with a major sports venue. For companies looking to make a big splash, it might just be worth it. The exposure gained from millions of fans attending games and events, as well as the countless media mentions, can provide a significant boost to a brand's profile. In the end, it's a strategic investment in brand recognition and customer loyalty.
Section 9. Local flavor versus corporate branding, a balancing act. The trend of corporate stadium names has its critics. Some argue that it takes away from the character and history of sports venues. Others say it's just the price of progress.
In today's world, sports are big business, and naming rights are a part of that. Ultimately, it's up to each team to decide what's best for them and their fans. Some teams have found ways to strike a balance, incorporating local elements into their corporate-sponsored names.
Section 10. The future of stadium names. What's next? As technology advances and the sports industry evolves, it's safe to say that stadium naming will continue to change.
We might see more interactive and personalized naming rights deals. Imagine a stadium name that changes based on who's playing or what's happening in the game. We could also see a rise in virtual naming rights, where companies pay to have their names featured prominently in video games and other digital platforms. One thing's for sure, the future of stadium naming is bound to be interesting.
Section 11. In conclusion, more than meets the eye. So there you have it. Stadium names are more than just a collection of letters. They're a reflection of history, commerce, and the passion of sports fans. Whether it's a classic ballpark named after a neighborhood or a state-of-the-art arena bearing a corporate logo, each stadium name tells a story. The next time you're watching a game, take a moment to appreciate the name above the field. It might just surprise you how much history and intrigue lies beneath the surface.